My lowest point in my experience with my brain disease had to be when I walked into a clinic with suicidal ideations, and I had to be placed in handcuffs over the back of a squad car in front of my favorite cafe that I'd gone to for 10 years and knew everybody in by first name basis. That was a really tough part in my journey, but I was lucky that the police were kind and helped me get to a safe place.
I used pretty much alcohol and drugs to put into my system to try and dull the noise that was going on inside my head, and it was, it was an extremely tough place, but I got to that point where I was hurting so many people around me that I had to make a decision to either continue on that path of hurting people or walk away from alcohol and drugs. And this year, it's in December, if all goes well, I'll be 11 years completely clean and sober from any sort of alcohol and drugs, and I believe it's I still fight the addiction process, but it's part of the bigger fight of my mental illness.
I reached out for help pretty early on in the process of developing the brain disease bipolar disorder. It was 17 and a half in the year 1998 when I was diagnosed, after my mom and dad helped me reach out for help and got me to my first psychiatrist. And when that happened, I had a diagnosis, which people often talk about as debatable, but nonetheless, but I'll tell you this: it took me almost 8+ years to accept that diagnosis as real and actually treat it as such, and successfully treat it so I can be as stable as I possibly can.
At the time, it was, for me, it was an outside influence that pretty much, led me to getting help, or led me to getting advice, firstly. In this outside help or outside relationship come to me and said, I think what you're going through is a little bit bigger than just a bad day, or with bipolar disorder, the extreme highs and lows. These were happening fairly constantly, and I was at the stage, like I said, I was hurting people around me, and this wasn't to do with the alcohol or drugs anymore. It was because of my behaviours, and I was clean and sober, and I knew that there was something that I was struggling with a lot bigger and more powerful than I could get through resilience-wise. So I reached out for help to come out with mental illness in those days.
There were 3 things that got me through my battle and continue to get me through my battle, because I'm not through it yet. I'm in recovery every day, just like Joe. And the 3 things, I call them my 3 Fs, were faith, family, and friends. And it's not just, for me, I have a faith in a higher power, in God, but that doesn't apply to everyone, and I understand that. I'm saying that faith in yourself, in your ability to pursue living, can keep you alive, and you can find that resolve, just like I did and do every day with chronic suicidal thoughts. I stay in recovery by acting on my mental wellness, my brain health, every single day. And when I do that, I can stay here. Family, because it's all you got. It doesn't have to be the family you're born to. It can be the family you create, like we've done right here. Friends, because you have to have a social network in your life, and I'm not talking about the kind online, although that's great sometimes. But you have to have a social network in your life of human beings that care for you and love you, to keep you up when you're down.
This is, it's debatable, this one. A lot of people say that, people develop mental illness or something happened in their life to develop a depression or a mental illness. With me having bipolar disorder, so it's an alignment of chemistry that I've got to have adjusted through medications and through certain steps that I put in my life. So I can't say that there's any one point that actually I guess made me have my mental illness. I believe, and this is my belief, is that I was born with this this illness, and It's taken me to I guess my previous years to get it under control, and you know what, if I've got this illness until the day I die, then I've accepted that. You know, I've just got to get by each day the best I can and make sure that, you know, I stay here and I stay alive and stay well and help people in my process.
Yeah. Speak. Silence where you feel you can't get your voice heard is deafening and destructive. And the more silent you are within the pain that you're experiencing, the more pain will overwhelm you and consume you. So you must find someone, a friend, a family member, a confidant, a loved one, anyone to talk to that will listen to your pain to get it out of you. Purge it from your body, purge it from your mind, purge it from your soul. Tell the truth about your pain to someone who you know loves and cares for you. And if you can't find them, for whatever reason, not everyone is blessed with a great social network, but if you can't find them, you call a lifeline every day in your country or your state or your area, and you talk to the people on the other end of that line so you can get that pain out, so you know someone is there for you. Because I know there are people who care. Joe knows there are people who care, and they'll get you back when you're in need. So break the silence.